Hi everybody, Kate Haley here, photographer and photo educator based in the Pacific Northwest. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite products. My goals with videos for this YouTube channel won't be super product heavy, but a lot of people ask me about this particular product when I'm out in the field using it. And it is one of my favorites for creating images that are different and unique. But let me ask you a question. What kind of creative goals do you have for your photography? For me, I have a lot. I love to do portraits, of course. I love to work with creative people and collaborate. And I love to make work that obviously I'm proud of and I love, and some of the tools I'm going to talk about today are really about that. As we learn photography, perhaps you might have been told, oh, well, everything needs to be super sharp or everything needs to be done in this particular way. And in my mind, there should be no limits on what our creative vision is for the work that we're creating. For me, photography is for me. The work that I make is for me. Now, of course, I have clients, right? And I do headshots and other projects for clients, and that is for them. They hire me to do the thing, right? But work that I make for me is for me. And often I share that out in the world, or I make prints, and maybe even I sell some prints or things like that. So one of the things that's often in my mind is creative exploration in general. Trying new techniques, going to a space where we often might shoot in landscape and then shooting it in portrait orientation. Or techniques like intentional camera movement, or trying other genres of photography that maybe aren't my go-to genre, just because I love photography and I'm always wanting to learn and evolve as a photographer. So one of the things the thing I'm going to talk about today, it's not one of the things, it's a thing I'm going to talk about today, is a product from Lensbaby called the OMNI Filter Kit. Now, you may know I am a Lensbaby ambassador. I have been for a couple of years now, and I love their products. I use a lot of their products in my portrait work as well as my more creative pursuits. And their product line is really all about creating unique images in camera. Okay. Now, my journey with Lensbaby goes back way, 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 way long ago, like 10, 12, 13, 14 years. I don't know exactly how long. I think Lensbaby as a company has been around for about 15 or so years, and I've used their lenses in some shape or form, at least I'm going to say since 2012, at least, maybe older. Anyhow. So one of my first lenses was their little Spark, and you would hold it to kind of move the things around. And then I got into the Composer system, and now I have a variety of their lenses. But today I want to talk about the OMNI Filter Kit. I'm not going to dive in too deep, but I just kind of want to show you what the kit looks like and show you what you can do with it. The OMNI Filter Kit is a setup that lets you put filters and crystals over your lens and dial them in and achieve specific kinds of effects. Now, the starter kit, which is what I want to highlight today, comes with this little filter holder, okay, and it's got these little arms that come out and you put the filter on, okay. I'm going to aim that up to the light so you can actually see it, okay. So what's awesome about this is this just screws onto the front of your lens, okay. And then once you have this mounted to your camera, you dial in the position. Now, this particular film right here is called the rainbow film. And this rainbow film is probably the film or the filter that I use the most. All right. It lets you create rainbows, first of all. How fun is that? It also lets you, it will take things like neon signs or something in the subject of your image and create reflections of it and potentially move that into other parts of the image. You can also put this like on a corner and just create a little blur, okay? So that's the rainbow film. All right. Now, you also have things like the stretch glass. Ooh, whoop, whoop. All right. And this one is called the seahorse. And each one of these has unique properties and uses. When I try out any of them, I'll normally attach this to my lens. And then I almost always start with rainbow film because I know that I like adding rainbows to certain kinds of images, like Pike Place Market signs here in Seattle. Any neon looks really cool with this, but I do love using this in portraits. Sometimes I will stack a second filter on and play around with like the movement of where they go. But the awesome thing about like the filter setup with what I love to call the little robot arms is that as you have this mounted to your camera, you can dial the filter in while you're looking through the viewfinder and then be able to lock that effect in. You can, of course, just hold these up over your lens. You could even hold these up over your phone lens if you want to play around with that, which I do also do. But it is harder to kind of like dial it in and lock it in because you're doing this handheld. With that said, once you find the position, you're like, oh, okay, that's the spot. So you go to take a photo and you take it away and then you know, okay, I'm going to twist and move to here. What I'm getting at is this system is a lot of fun for creating images that are a little bit different. So going back to the rainbow film super quick, like I said, you can use this to add a rainbow, add like a hint of blur to the edges of a photo. You can also reflect or refract light, okay? With the stretch glass, my favorite effects of this are to stretch something in the scene, hence stretch glass. The examples that I'm sharing are of like holiday lights during the holiday season in downtown Seattle, and you can see really where it like does the swoosh and this pull, and it's very, very interesting to me. And then the seahorse glass, so this kind of looks like a little seahorse, right? But there's different bevels and how this is cut. So one side is very flat and this side has different bevels. So moving it around slowly and seeing how it affects your image is really cool. A lot of times I actually will use this in portraits, and depending on the angle I use it at, I can actually create like a reflection of the person within the frame. And it will also potentially pull light in and add some interesting bokeh. So that's your OMNI Filter Starter Kit. It comes with either a small or a large filter ring. And so when you decide to purchase one of these, if you do, you'll pick which size you prefer based on your camera and lens setups. Now I'm on the Fujifilm X series system. Most of my lenses work with the small, but some of my Lensbaby lenses have a larger filter size, so I do bust out the large over time. But for most of my lenses, I'm in the small camp because some of my Lensbaby lenses also are very small and work with this one. So filter ring, you get a couple of the arms, and then you get 3 filters in the starter set. And I do have like an expansive kit as well. They offer like the full kit, which has all the pieces and parts, including little mirrors. And I think I don't even know, there probably are like 20 different wands within the bigger kit. If you're curious and you just want to try, I think the starter kit is a great option. If you're like, oh, that looks so fun, I want it all, go for the bigger kit potentially. With that said, if you have any questions about the kit, the OMNI filter system, or any of the Lensbaby products, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll also add that since I'm an ambassador, there's a promo code available to save you a little money. That promo code is available on any non-sale items most of the year. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.